realized I had the power to take back my life and not let the diagnosis rule over me. But I needed to come to that self-awareness first before I could ever get the help that I needed. This whole time I've been taking medication, I've been going to doctor's visits, therapy, you name it, but it was all pretty much useless until I had the self-awareness to get better.
Hi, and welcome to Don't Drink to Feed podcast. This podcast is all about you and all the courageous, driven women like you. We are here to inspire, to empower, to share, and to embrace one another. We will be talking with women from different backgrounds and careers about love, family, friendship, their wins and falls, and what it took for them to live the life they love. I am your host, Claudia Noriega-Bernstein, and I am so happy you're here today. Hi, everyone. Today I have the honor of welcoming a truly remarkable woman to the show, someone whose story is a testament to the power of courage, self-discovery, and resilience. She's here to share her deeply personal journey of living with and overcoming the challenges of schizophrenia. A journey that has taken her through dark moments, profound healing, and ultimately a new understanding of herself and the world around her. Her story is not just about diagnosis, it's about reclaiming her identity, finding hope in the midst of chaos, and becoming an inspiration to so many who feel unseen and misunderstood. Please join me in listening with an open heart as we dive into the path of healing, growth, and unwavering bravery. Welcome to the show, Chayilee.
Hi, thank you for welcoming and the beautiful introduction that you have created.
I think there is a myth about schizophrenia. So before we even dig in, I want to learn a little bit about you.
Sure, a little bit about me. Grew up pretty normal life, I would say. Straight A student, on the cheer team, very active, and so active I ended up joining the military. Um, and in the military, I had an experience that didn't quite go as planned. And shortly after, I ended up with a mental health diagnosis. There was many diagnoses in between before I was diagnosed with schizophrenia. So it's been quite a journey for years. And I am happy to say that I've overcame it. For about 5 years, I can say I'm hallucination free, which is a beautiful thing that not many people have the privilege of having.
How did they discover that you have schizophrenia?
Well, the signs were clear to everyone except for me.
Like what?
Like, for example, I was talking to spirits. I thought there was cameras in walls or doors. There was times where I wasn't 100% with reality. There was times where I thought people were following me, and it all seemed very, very real. No matter how out there it seemed, like I thought looking in the mirror, like there was a demon looking back at me, or like a scary gargoyle figure. Like I was physically and visually experiencing hallucinations. And the reason why I say that is because it was not just visual. I was hearing them, I was feeling them on my body. It was a very scary experience. And I was telling that to doctors, and they're like, okay, they don't really say anything. They just fill out a form, or at least the doctors I had. And then I got a letter in the mail saying, you've been diagnosed with schizoaffective, and it's under the category of PTSD. And I didn't know what to do with that. I didn't Google it at that time. I lived about my life as normal as I could, working, taking care of my dog, just trying to make ends meet. And it took a while before I was like, oh, things are getting bad. Things are getting really bad. It started impacting my work, my relationships, especially with my friends. It got to a point where no one wanted to talk to me. And I was confused. I was like, that's weird. None of my friends want to hang out with me. None of my family wants to talk to me. Something's going on here. It took a long time for it to hit that I was the issue. And when it did, I realized I had the power to take back my life and not let the diagnosis rule over me. But I needed to come to that self-awareness first before I could ever get the help that I needed. This whole time I've been taking medication, I've been going to doctor's visits, therapy, you name it, but it was all pretty much useless until I had the self-awareness to get better.
So you get the diagnosis and then they put you on a medication, or you just got that letter and thought, well, maybe they're wrong. But I still have hallucinations. I still see things in the mirror, but I don't think that's what it is.
I thought that they were wrong. I was on medication for hallucinations beforehand, before I even got the diagnosis.
Why did they give you medication before? Because you
Um,
were just seeing things.
well, before it was like there was a lot leading up to hallucinating. There was the anxiety, there was the depression. They thought I had bipolar,
So
and
they start
then
ruling out things.
right. And it took a couple years for them to rule these things out. Like they
Mm.
really took their time with it. And as I got more mentally and mentally sick, that's how they came to the conclusion of schizoaffective or schizophrenia.
And when you would talk to your friends, what would they say that they didn't like about your behavior?
Well, they wouldn't,
They just
literally.
push you away.
Just thought I was weird, and they didn't really talk to me anymore. Like I stopped getting invites to places
So
or
nobody came to you and say, hey, this you yesterday you were a little off and you made everybody uncomfortable. Nothing like that.
no, no, not at all. I wish I had that, but I had to figure that out on my own. My recovery was on my own. A podcast really helped me. Yoga really helped me. But even at yoga, like I could tell I was the odd person out, and I
Right.
didn't quite understand why. But one of the signs with schizophrenia is to not be as social and lose like the ability to read social cues. So if
Mm.
someone's leaning in, if someone's leaning back, if someone's squinting their eyes, if someone's curious, all of those things I couldn't read, I couldn't understand. And I
Right.
literally forgot social cues. I literally forgot how to read facial expressions. And so I was taking people's words literally. And when you take people's words literally, it doesn't
It's
make
like
too
a
much
text
sense.
message. It's
It's
like a
like a
text
text
message.
message.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is like a text message. There's no emotion attached. A lot of it gets really confusing. So I had to be like, why is this person saying that I look great, but they have like their eyebrows up and they look like they just seen a ghost? When back at the time I like dyed my hair blonde and had
Hmm.
curly hair. Like I just didn't look like myself. And they would say, oh yeah, your hair looks great. And they would have a different face. I was like, why are you making that face then? But I didn't quite understand it.
Right. So then you got to a point where you decided I need to do something to get better. I cannot continue living my life like this.
Yes, it was actually the hallucinations that told me that I'd be behind bars. I was walking my dog and I wasn't breaking the law or anything. I was just not 100% with reality. I was walking my dog to the dog park and I kept on like being fixated, like staring at the gate, the walls, the fencing. And then I looked at like the poles, the bars. I heard a voice screaming, bars, you belong behind bars. And out loud, I'm responding, I didn't break the law. Like, what's wrong? Like, what am I doing?
Hmm.
And it was that second where I responded out loud to a hallucination telling me I belong behind bars, like the mental health ward, for example, that I was like, oh, I'm sick. I'm really sick and I don't know how to get better. And was trying to have this conversation in my head, but all the time I was having it out loud.
And did you call your family? Did you ask them for help?
I was trying to talk to my family at the time. It got to the point where they knew I was sick. They didn't know how to help me. And again, with like the friends, no one really told me. They just kind of kept their distance. And then there was a time where I thought that my family contributed to my mental illness.
Why?
So, because I was having vivid hallucinations that things were happening to me back in time.
Like
Now,
like an abuse.
yes,
Hmm.
yes, whether it's real or not, it doesn't
You were
dismiss the
feeling it.
fact.
You were
I,
feeling it and you were perceiving it as real. So if you would go and say something to them, they didn't want to have nothing to do with it because then they had to accept that that happened.
Correct, correct. So whether it happened or not, I accepted it as I'm the problem. I have control over how I treat other people. Personally, would like my family back in my life. And so I had to get over whether it's true or not, don't know. But I accept my family no matter what happened. And that's a relationship I want to build. Now I'm still building my relationship with my family. It's not perfect. It's a lot better than what it was, but it's still not like what it was before my illness or my diagnosis.
Before you were diagnosed, right? What was the first step you took to start your healing?
A regimented schedule. So I woke up at a specific time. I exercised at a specific time. Ate, I worked only during working hours because at the time it was bleeding into my homework hours. And by this time I was in college.
Wow.
And, so I was working full time, going to college full time, all nine, and I worked remote. blessings, blessings. But it was really rough. And so I had to build a really strong schedule to keep me on track.
Mm-hmm.
And that is ultimately what like kick-started getting better because then I noticed I wasn't feeling the hallucinations on my body anymore. I noticed I wasn't seeing as much or hearing as much as I was. And the main difference was me taking good care of my physical and spiritual self.
That is interesting because I am sure that doctors that treat people with schizophrenia or borderline personalities or bipolar or all that, they also tell them to take care of themselves. But I think I'm assuming they have a different kind of protocol that you didn't have. So
Mhm.
why do you think that started making you better, taking care of your body?
I noticed it probably within 2 weeks that
Mm-hmm.
taking care of my body made a big difference. There was one day where I forgot to drink too much water. Like I had this huge jug of water
Mm-hmm.
and I was drinking one every day, probably twice the amount that I was supposed to. And then there was one day I didn't drink water. I forgot to carry my jug, I forgot to fill it with water. And I started getting the hallucinations back, audio. And I was really scared. I was like, oh no, it's coming back. And I was like, wait a second. I have control to make this go away. Like I'm in control of my mind. I'm in control of my thoughts. And that's really what it took for me to say, never again. I'm not going back to this.
And what other things did you do to get the psychological or mental balance that you needed to keep on healing?
A big part of it was forgiveness for myself, forgiveness for those around me, forgiveness for those I'll never interact with again. There was a lot of traumatic events that took place during that time period. And I was having outer body experiences and I wasn't 100% with reality. And I wish I did things differently, but at the same time, I don't because I'm exactly where I need to be.
So right now, how is your life?
It's wonderful. I have a condo with my partner. I have a wonderful dog. I can drive. I work full time. I already got my degree, which is great. I have my business. I have my podcast. I've accomplished pretty much everything that I've wanted to accomplish thus far. And that's amazing because I'm doing more than, for example, just sitting on the couch saying, like, I am living with this illness. I can't do anything about it. Or I'm living with this diagnosis. I can't do anything about it. Doctors say, I'm going to have it forever. I might as well just accept my fate. Well, I did the exact opposite. I said, no, not me. That's not going to be my story. And that's really what changed my life.
And now, do you have episodes or you don't have any more episodes?
None.
But you are on medication though.
I am heavily medicated.
Right,
I
right.
love it. I love it. I would not want it any other way.
When you share your life with another person, having gone through everything that you went through, how do you balance that? How do you explain that to your partner? Like, okay, I had PTSD because I was exposed to certain things then, and I was diagnosed with schizophrenia and I am healing myself, but this could happen. How do
Yeah.
you have that conversation?
So with my partner right now, she's very spiritual and religious, and she believes that like part of what I went through
Mhm.
was real on a spiritual level, not like to this 3D world, but on
Mhm.
another dimension. And so she's very accepting about that. But when I told her, I said, hey, just to let you know, I have this diagnosis. You don't have to worry about it. I go to the doctor, I'm on medication, I have it in check. Just to let you know, in the past, it was not in check. I was not taking good care of myself, and this is what it looked like, but I'm not doing those things anymore. Like, for example, staying up late, last minute assignments, laying on the couch when I could be doing something physical, right?
Mhm.
Like, my life has completely changed since then. So you don't have to worry about it. But just to let you know, this is something that I was diagnosed with. I feel like you should know.
And now you continue going to your doctor. So did they do another diagnosis to see if it's better or if it's gone? Aside of the fact that you explained to the doctor the hallucinations and how you feel and all that, is there any other test that somebody can do, like medically, to find out?
No, you have to go to a doctor for years, unfortunately. I wish there was a
Like a
better,
therapist?
not just a therapist, but a psychiatrist. So a therapist is great to talk to,
Mm-hmm.
but a psychiatrist actually prescribes the medication. Some therapists can, but mostly it's a psychiatrist.
So it's a kind of like hit or miss. Like you go to a therapist, a psychiatrist, you talk about your experience, they put you on a medication, they see if it works or not. And if it doesn't, they try a different one.
1000%. And another part of it is when you're switching medication, you have to do it very gradually.
Mm-hmm.
So it may take 2, 3 months to come off of one medication. And so to switch in between two medications, so you go to the doctor, you take the medications, they say that the medications are not working, or you say it's not working. Either way, as a patient, you can say it's not working, or the doctors can come up with it's not working for you. Either way, it takes 2 to 3 months to get off of medication. It takes 2 to 3 months for you to take the medication and it to be fully in effect. So during that time period, there's like 2 months where you're very under medicated because you're used to taking XYZ medication and you're not. And now you're taking a new medication, but it doesn't build up in your system the way you need it until
Right.
months down the road. So I'm very blessed that I have not one, not two, three prescriptions to keep me balanced. But that's what I need to do. And at first, it was a hard pill to swallow, but now it's just part of my routine, and I wouldn't want it any other way because I know that it makes my life significantly easier.
And aside of that, you have a routine and habits that you have incorporated in your life to create that balance that you need.
Yes, so I know whenever I brush my teeth that I take my medication, for example, because I take it in the morning. And it's very easy to forget that did I take my medication? So I'll
Right.
just feel my mouth. I was like, is my mouth minty? Is my toothbrush wet? Those are like
Mm.
little protocols that I have and in my routine to make sure that I take my medication. And I have timers on my phone to make sure I'm eating food because sometimes I'll just forget to eat, or sometimes I'll eat way too much. So finding that balance is really important.
So you gotta really be very particular in your scheduling during the day to be able to manage the illness.
I would say so. I would say so.
Okay, so now that you have a normal per se
Mhm.
life, do you notice people that are schizophrenic or that have like they're borderline? Are they signs that we should look for?
So one would be like it's nicknamed the crazy eyes. It's when like you can see the whites and like on the outside of the iris.
Mm-hmm.
That just means a person might be experiencing like mania or like a heightened state of mind.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but other than that, you could tell by someone's speech. So if they sound like really fast or like really slow, and not in a way that seems like forgetful, well, forgetful too, but more in a way that seems like they can't have a coherent thought. Like if their sentences do not make sense. Someone named it one time word salad because it's just all thrown in there and they're not really making sense.
Well, I think it's so interesting what you have gone through, and it's very remarkable that you were able to find ways to help yourself. Do you fear that this can come back, or you're gonna be aggressive, or something is gonna not be as planned?
No, I don't fear that at all. And the reason being is because I was not aggressive to anyone but myself.
Okay.
So I don't have fear that I'm gonna hurt anyone or anything like that. Maybe with words or maybe like just shutting down, not talking to them, but not physically.
Mm.
I don't have that concern for me particularly. But no, I know it won't come back. I know a lot of doctors say she's in remission, this is lifelong.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? Forget it. Other F word,
But
get it.
I think it has a lot to do with the conversations you have with yourself. If you tell yourself, I'm cured and I'm fine, and you don't allow that doubt and fear to come back, then you're going to be in control as much as you can, and you're going to have the life that you want to live, right?
Right, absolutely. A lot of it has to do with the self-talk. And if I was talking to myself like 6, 7 years ago, saying, hey, you're going to have a podcast. This is going to be the best thing that ever happened to you. You're going to live
Mm-hmm.
this marvelous life, have the perfect job. I'd be like, okay, whatever, whatever you say, have some attitude. I wouldn't quite believe it.
Now you have evidence that if you want something, you can really make it happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of goal setting,
regardless of the circumstances.
regardless of the circumstances. Yes.
Well, you're very inspiring. I'm very happy that you were here because I'm sure that people hear about schizophrenia and think, okay, that's it. A person has that, it belongs to a mental hospital and that's all. But
Right.
you are a living proof that if you really work on yourself and try different things and have discipline, you can have a balanced life and you can have a quote unquote normal life and have a relationship and be happy.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. All of it's possible. All of it's very doable.
You just need to want it.
You need you need to want it and put it into action.
There you go. Well, Kylie, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you sharing your story. Tell me the name of your podcast so people can go listen to you.
It's successful with schizophrenia.
Perfect. So I'm going to have the links and everything in the description of the show, but I really appreciate you being here and sharing your story because I think it's very inspiring.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you all for listening to the Don't Shrink to Fit podcast. If you like this episode, please write a juicy comment below and subscribe to my podcast. Remember, we can only fly if we embrace each other. Until next week, be happy, be safe, and be kind to yourself.